Hey everybody, welcome to the Pink Bike project. This is the first in a series of videos involving the rebirth of a very unique motorcycle. If you'd like to be notified of future videos in this series, you just have to hit the subscribe button. I picked up this bike as a rolling chassis a few years back with the intention of using the engine in another project altogether. That project never happened, and I've more or less forgotten all about it. The shed it's been hidden in is starting to fall down, so I'm going to see if I can get it running, and I'm probably just going to sell it. Way back when it first got here, I pulled the engine and did the work to get it running. As I recall, the rings were completely seized into the piston and it wasn't making any compression at all. The top end needed a little love, but nothing too crazy. The cam and followers were fine. I just had to lap the valves, replace the seals, and give the cylinder a quick hone. The piston was beyond repair, so I picked up a properly sized aftermarket kit, complete with wrist pin and rings. Once it was all back together, I rebuilt the carb and ran a couple of heat cycles to break it in. The thing that makes this motorcycle unique, aside from it being pink, is that it's at least 3 bikes combined into one. The numbers on the front of the frame and the engine indicate a 1979 Honda XR250, which is what I bought it as. Instead of the original dual rear shocks, this one has a more modern monoshock welded in. The weld job is pretty thorough. It was probably pretty tricky to get everything to work together. The front forks and wheel seem to be from yet another bike altogether. The front brake caliper is from a late 1990s Honda CR, so I'm guessing the forks probably are too. These upgrades to the suspension are a significant improvement from what the bike would have had originally. The carburetor is also from something else, and I'm pretty sure it's bigger than stock. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Maybe it's some kind of a race bike. Almost all of the important stuff is here. The levers, the cables, throttle, kill switch, master cylinder, and even the speedometer all seem to be in pretty good working condition. It's not a beauty queen, but I appreciate the effort somebody put into it in the past. It came with a couple of boxes of spare parts, and I've got a reasonable supply of similar stuff from other bikes that have come and gone over the years. I'm pretty confident I've got enough to make it a complete functional bike again. With everything inventoried, it's time to put the bike on the lift and begin the construction. It's definitely not a restoration. There's no original anything here anymore. There's going to be some puzzles to solve, and this should be kind of fun. I'm going to dive right in and tackle what will probably be the most time-consuming part of the project, which is to make an exhaust system to fit into this one-of-a-kind frame. I've got some nice stainless steel tubing that was rescued from the scrapyard and a fairly cheap stainless steel muffler I've got left over from something. It's been here a while. The only way to do this is to start at the header pipe and work my way back. It takes a great deal of trial and error and a fair bit of patience to get everything just right. Once I'm happy that the angles are correct and the joint is properly aligned, I tack weld the tubes together as I go. I'll go back and seal it up properly when I know it's the right shape. I've done a few of these on the cheap exhaust systems, and it doesn't take too long to piece it all together. The end result is exactly what I wanted. The muffler had to be spaced out from the side of the bike so as to not melt the plastic on the rear. The new tubing is positioned out of the way enough so as to not interfere with the rear tire as it moves through the suspension travel. As an added bonus, I can use the support in the midsection of the tubing to stabilize everything. It's just a matter of sealing it all up and smoothing out the welds. This is definitely going to take a while. I don't have any stainless steel wire at the moment, so I'm just using regular MIG wire. That should be fine for this application. I mean, it's an exhaust on a dirt bike. As you can probably see, I haven't welded in a while, and my plan is to just build it up a bit thicker than I probably need to, then grind it smooth with a grinding wheel and flapper disc. As I say, I'm probably going to paint it anyway. It's really fortunate that the flange already on the end of this tubing fits snugly into the muffler. That makes the size difference a piece of cake to deal with. I'll just fill up that cavity with a bead of weld and grind it smooth. That's going to do it for now. I'll see how it runs like this and probably end up putting some kind of baffle or restriction in there, but I'm going to worry about that later. Next, let's check out this chain. It's kind of rusty, but really it doesn't look all that bad. It's an O-ring type, which is fairly common for a dirt bike. All the links are free, and I don't expect that rust to be much of a problem at all. I'm just going to soak it in the ultrasonic cleaner for maybe 20 minutes using Dawn dish soap to clean off the easy stuff. Following that, a stiff brush should do a good job of removing all the crap. I don't want to put it away dry, so I'm going to spray it down with some penetrating oil to keep working away at whatever is still stuck on there. The front sprocket needs to be replaced. This old one is damaged beyond all hope. This is actually one of the very few pieces I've needed to buy so far. The rear sprocket looks a lot better and the chain goes back together without any issue at all. The tensioners on the rear tires still have lots of adjustment, which is ideal. As it ages, the chain will lengthen and there needs to be room to correct for that. Okay, well, that's as far as I can go this week. One of my buddies is dropping his bike off tomorrow morning for a spring tune-up, and I need the lift cleared. Fear not, part 2 will be coming your way soon. If you like this video and want to see more like it, I'd appreciate you subscribing. I've got all kinds of cool projects in the works. Thanks for watching.